So I will see you guys very soon. I know you'll be in very good hands with my team here at the White House, and I know all of you have the president's phone number personally. So I have no doubt that you will have a shortage of statements and news from this building.
Now, this may not be what was coming out of her mouth, but this is what her body was saying. Yes.
You would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
What happens when Karoline Leavitt wakes up, hits the chaos button, and sues The View like it pays her rent? Pure financial hell for the daytime queens. That's what. Karoline is back in court with a lawsuit so massive it could basically get its own mailing address. Could this be the last shiny nail in The View's overpriced coffin? Is Joy Behar about to open an Etsy store selling bitter throw pillows just to pay off the damages? Do not look away, because this TV takedown is messier than a wine-throwing fight at a Real Housewives reunion.
Leavitt appears to be a fierce operator, but she's also 27 and arguably quite glamorous. So of course, the kind and progressive voices at The View reacted to her appointment like this.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Karoline Leavitt just did the unthinkable again. She marched straight into the glittery mess of daytime TV, stared down the loudest group of professional interrupters on air, and sued the shine right off their studio. Yes, again, because apparently one courtroom fight was not enough to convince The View's producers to stop using controversy like a money-making business plan.
And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show.
If you are enjoying this takedown, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now, it turns out Karoline is not just breaking out in hives over liberal media stunts. She has basically built a career out of dragging it into court. She moves with the kind of iron-willed determination most people save for pulling their dog out of a mud hole. And with this latest legal bomb, she may have finally done it. The View is not just shaken, it is wobbling like a cheap table at a reality show after party.
And the abuse continued.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
So, what set off this latest legal bombshell, Karoline? Apparently, she hit her absolute limit after being served up once again as the daily special on The View's endless buffet of fake outrage. No air quotes needed. Everyone knows the drill. 5 hosts, 2 coffee mugs, and a bottomless well of polished put-downs. But Karoline did not just angry scroll like the rest of us. She filed the paperwork. And this time, it is not a soft slap on the wrist. It is a lawsuit so huge, it might actually show up on NASA's next satellite scan.
I mean, you'll deal with these kind of crazy questions from the White House podium. How do you plan to deal with it?
Yes, I absolutely will. I feel prepared to do that. I've been facing the media now, speaking on behalf of President Trump on the campaign trail for the past couple of years. And we are expecting the media to be hostile. However, Kaylee, if you do talk to a lot of these reporters off the record, they will tell you they look forward to more press transparency and access. And while we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they're going to be hearing directly from the leader of the free world.
Now, here is where things get truly juicy. This is not just about hurt feelings. This is about alleged defamation, deliberate character destruction, and what Karoline's legal team is calling a full-blown smear campaign cleverly dressed up as casual coffee table talk. Think of it as someone lighting a match inside a candle store and then blaming the explosion on aromatherapy. According to insiders, Leavitt's lawsuit rests on one devastatingly simple argument. If a nationally televised show repeatedly treats someone like a political punching bag, do not be shocked when the punching bag hits back hard. While the hosts may think they are simply serving up sharp-tongued jokes, her legal team sees it as a high-definition hit piece topped with makeup tutorials and sponsor shoutouts. Here's the genius of it all. She is not screaming into empty air. She is lawyering up with surgical precision, armed with time-stamped footage and cross-referenced insults packed into detailed binders, and she is not just targeting the hosts. She is going after the entire operation. If The View were a house, Karoline's lawsuit would name the carpet, the chandelier, and the overworked intern who orders the lukewarm croissants. Financially, this is no joke. Word is that ABC's accounting department is already breaking into cold sweats, haunted by flashbacks from the last courtroom clash. Legal costs are reportedly sky-high. Insurance rates have been shot into orbit. Behind closed doors, producers are whispering the word settlement like it is a cursed spell.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, because the United States of America is the best place in the world to do business. And as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even higher.
Backstage, a totally different show is playing out. Staffers are reportedly tiptoeing through the studio like they are dodging subpoenas rather than camera cords. Staff morale? Picture a glitter bomb going off during a tax audit. Joy may still be cracking jokes on camera, but behind the scenes, budget cuts are hitting harder than her punchlines. Promotional shoots are vanishing without explanation. Guest appearances are quietly drying up. Even the snack table, rumor has it, has gone from a lavish spread to bring your own granola bar. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt is absolutely thriving. She's turned this legal roller coaster into a precision-built political stage production so compelling it makes Shakespeare look like open mic night at a dive bar. In conservative circles, she has become the icon who brought the cackling giant to its knees, armed with nothing but court filings and an unshakable calm. No shouting, no theatrics, just devastatingly composed legal arguments. Do not mistake this for a publicity stunt. This is a financial siege. Her team is not simply demanding damages. They're building a case that allegedly exposes a long-calculated campaign of on-air character sabotage, all dressed up as harmless daytime entertainment. If it holds up in court, the payout would not merely sting. It could hollow out the show's entire financial foundation. And while the network puts on a brave face publicly, insiders say it is all smoke and mirrors. Legal teams are on high alert. The PR department is reportedly in full meltdown mode. And advertisers, a number of them are already quietly eyeing the edges, clutching their marketing budgets like lifeboats.
First of all, the Democrat Party has gone woke and now they have gone broke. They have their lowest approval ratings ever, and they are rallying around two of the most far-left leaders in their party, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. So that tells you the current state of the Democrat Party.
Apparently, several brands were less than thrilled to discover they've been sponsoring what may soon become Exhibit A in a headline eating courtroom brawl. And here's where it gets even juicier. While The View scrambles frantically to plug the leaks, Karoline's social media is absolutely exploding. Every fresh court document is a content gold mine. More clicks, more engagement, more donations. She has grown from news subject to full-blown headline machine, fueled equally by legal drama and iced coffee. Conservative commentators are already calling her the future of media warfare, not by screaming into cameras, but by dragging those cameras straight into court. While others rant on podcasts, Karoline is dropping court filings like chart-topping diss tracks. It is not just conservatism anymore. It is courtroom conservatism. Fewer hot takes, more cease and desist letters. And the ratings are certainly not breaking any records. With the lawsuit looming and the backstage mood hovering one shade short of full panic, viewers are reportedly switching off. The show now feels less like a cultural institution and more like a walking PR liability. Sponsorships that once flowed freely are drying up fast, because no brand wants its logo sitting next to a defamation claim. That is not exactly the pitch that moves mascara and yoga mats. One insider even joked that the next sponsor might have to be a law firm. Meanwhile, Karoline is not easing off the gas. Word is her team is combing through years of archive footage, quietly building what could become a growing series of lawsuits. If The View assumed this was a one-and-done situation, they might want to start rewatching their own old episodes with legal counsel present.
You do know that you're walking into hostile territory, right?
Certainly do. And look, I think I'm well prepared for that. And I'm incredibly honored that President Trump has instilled confidence in me to speak on his behalf behind the White House podium. It's been an honor to have a front row seat to the greatest political comeback in history. And as you mentioned in your monologue, Sean, President Trump is putting together a brilliant cabinet of fantastic America First fighters, from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are going to cut the waste out of our federal bureaucracy, to Susie Wiles, who is going to serve as the first female chief of staff in history. Take that, Mark Cuban, to Tom Homan. No one better to secure the border than him.
The mission is a complete, unapologetic reckoning with what she calls the meme girls and makeup empire of American television. And if Karoline Leavitt wins even a fraction of what her team is demanding, The View could be staring down a future with fewer hosts, fewer sponsors, and far fewer chances to hurl on-air insults without someone immediately speed dialing their attorney. Here is a twist. Leavitt has perfected the art of the double identity, villain in one world, icon in another. To The View's loyal audience, she is the political boogeyman. To her own crowd, she is a folk hero armed with legal briefs and fearless determination. It is not just controversy, it is branding. She is not running from the drama, she is packaging it, marketing it, and profiting from it. And if anyone thinks this is about ego, think again. Karoline's approach is pure strategy. Every lawsuit is a campaign advertisement. Every legal victory is a polling boost. She is not just building a public image. She's constructing a political resume that reads less like media pundit and more like a calculated force of nature in designer heels. While The View clings desperately to spin cycles and hopes for calmer skies, Karoline is already scanning the horizon for the next storm. This is not about a single bad segment. It is about dismantling what she views as a decades-old institution that has weaponized gossip under the flattering warmth of studio lighting.
I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe.
To hire a spokesperson just so that Elon Musk doesn't put out tweets that then confuse federal workers.
Are my press briefings not good enough for you, Jack?
Karoline Leavitt did not simply file a lawsuit. She launched an entire political brand. Courtrooms have become her stage. Depositions have become her content drops, complete with overhead lighting and legal flair. Each court date plays like a brand new episode in the Karoline Leavitt cinematic universe, packed with headline-igniting outrage, dramatic hot takes, and a social media trilogy starring coffee, contempt, and constitutional fireworks. And it is working. Her social media numbers are surging, followers climbing faster than city rents, engagement through the roof, and her donation link collecting more clicks than The View's studio applause track. Forget traditional advertising. Karoline is the advertisement, a viral phenomenon simultaneously playing crusader and casualty, litigating her way into the hearts of every ambitious conservative with a Wi-Fi connection. Conservative media is absolutely feasting. She's already been elevated to near legendary status, positioned somewhere between a political monument and a cultural force dressed for the Met Gala. She's no longer just a pundit. She is an icon of Instagram-polished outrage, leading the charge against liberal media theatrics with court filings in one hand and a highlight reel filter in the other. And the most terrifying part for her critics, she is not even raising her voice. The lawsuits are doing all the screaming.
If you heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the...
This is the moment when everything changes, and not in a way like a reality show. Usually The View is the one making fun of someone really hurting their feelings. Now they are the ones in trouble, and it is not because they said something funny or clever. It is because they are in trouble with the law, and they cannot make jokes to get out of it. Karoline did not just change things, she completely changed the way things are done. She is not mad at the media, she is using the fact that people are upset to make money. She is taking the anger, wrapping it up, and selling it like a TV show. What used to be a reaction is now a way to make money, and the media is the product. At The View, things are not going well. The show is not as exciting as it used to be. everyone is in crisis mode. The money situation is not good. You do not need to be an expert to know that getting sued and having a bad reputation is expensive. Add to that the fact that not many people are watching, the applause is not as loud, and the sponsors are getting nervous, and you have a recipe for disaster. Even the biggest fans can tell that something is wrong. What used to be sharp and exciting now sounds fake and empty. The jokes are not funny. The laughter is not real. It is hard to pretend to be happy when you are losing money. There are rumors that the hosts might change and that the show might stop for a while. The people in charge of the network are doing the math, trying to figure out how longer they can keep the show on the air before they have to cancel it and start something new. Karoline is not slowing down. Her lawyers have a lot of evidence. They are looking at every little thing to use against The View. If The View says something, Karoline will sue them before they can even apologize. This is the beginning. Karoline is going after the liberal media, and she is doing it in a smart and strategic way. She has turned lawsuits into a way to get attention and power. If The View is the first to get in trouble, it will not be the last. The show is not failing because people are not watching or because the ratings are bad. It is failing because of Karoline, a conservative who decided to sue the media instead of just arguing with them. To some people, this is much. To her fans, it is a revolution. Karoline is not just trying to get attention, she is creating a way to fight against the media. Of debating, she is suing them. Now, The View is learning a hard lesson. Karoline is not giving up. The show is in trouble. It might even get replaced with something new. The irony is amazing. The loudest show on TV is being silenced, not because people are mad or bored. Because of Karoline and her lawsuits, you could call it karma. You could call it Karoline with a capital L for lawsuit. The only question left for The View is, do they know a bankruptcy lawyer? They will need someone with a sense of humor because Karoline just flipped the table, and now the joke is on them.